So when I say we will support a free and fair election, no, we're not going to allow them to steal it in the states or steal it at the Department of Justice or steal it with any other election official in the country. If it's a free and fair election, we will do what we've always done. We will honor it.
Okay.
All righty, guys, welcome back to it. Conservative Confucius here. It's election day. Make sure you get out to vote. We opened up with that clip of Jamie Raskin. And sounds familiar what he said, doesn't it, guys? It sounds oddly suspiciously familiar about the things he was saying and how everyone else in this country was criticized for saying anything remotely close to that. And it's pretty shocking that he can get away with saying this while everyday Americans said, oh, well, I think that we should have, extra security measures. And I think that this needs to be, clearly investigated to make sure that the election was safe and secure and that our process was safely and securely handled. Yet every single person that said that was called a election denier, a whatever, this or that. And yet for some reason, it's okay for him to say it on live TV to the entire world. But if Trump says that he's an election denier and an insurrectionist, it makes no sense. Literally, that's what thousands upon thousands of Republican politicians, pundits, commentators, doesn't matter, YouTube creators, we're all saying the exact same thing. We just want our elections to be safe and fair. We need a process that is handled properly. We need machines that do not have system malfunctions and issues. We need a system of voting that we do not have illegal immigrants voting on in our elections. Yet they only call out things when things start to go wrong in their way, meaning they no longer are winning the way they want to be. And yet, even though there is massive levels of fraud benefiting them right now in this election, which we have done multiple videos on, you can just check out my previous videos. And like the last 3 or 4 of them have all gone over stuff like that in those videos. And we've had video evidence of all of it, or documentational evidence, doesn't matter. We have it all. And yet, for some reason, they want to complain about safety and security, but only focus on the issues that bother them. Like, I doubt they're going to talk about the motor to voter, illegal process for illegal immigrants and non-citizens to vote. I doubt they're going to talk about, Republican districts, either having power outages in California, shutting down randomly, and then just not telling people where to go vote. All these different issues. And yet no one gives a crap to talk about those ones. But when they'll lose, they'll say, oh, something was wrong. Russia interfered, because they don't have anything wrong in America that they can point to that benefited Republicans. Everything that happened that was wrong and illegal in this election benefited them. So when they want to point out something at the end of this election, when, oh, well, this happened or that happened, it's going to be something that's going to be either foreign intervention or some made up fantasy scenario where they're going to say, well, we think there were hackers that were working for Trump and they blah, blah, blah. It's going to be some bullshit like that. And we all know that because we already have seen the evidence showing that we have already seen the evidence showing that the fraudulent things, the ballot, the voter suppression, the voter fraud, the illegal immigrant voting, all of this stuff is benefiting them. And that's from hands, feet on the ground interviews, where you're going and people are going up to people's houses and saying, do you register? Have you registered to vote, to non-citizens? And all of them, almost all of them really, said that they were voting for Kamala. So that shows that at least in that area, it benefits Kamala. Then you have voter suppression happening in Republican districts. Obviously that's good for Democrats. And yet all of these things are happening and you still see record turnout for Republicans in early voting, which has never happened. You see record turnout for mail-in ballot voting or mail-in voting for Republicans. You've never seen that before. And it's actually down for urban women, or for urban voters and for women. And it's up for rural voters, which is the first time I've ever seen that either. So let's get into this. This is this first video is from Carrie Lake and some of the stuff going on in Arizona, but we will get into that in a second. Don't forget to go down there, hit that like button for me, smash the subscribe button for me too, ring the bell for notifications. It really does help me out when you guys do that. Please don't forget to go do that. Leave a comment for me if you would like, and don't forget to share this video if you guys like it, man. Alrighty, go check out my Discord and my my merch store at streamlabs.com/conservative-confucius/merch. That's streamlabs.com/conservative-confucius/merch. Alrighty, guys, let's get down to it and do it. Here we go. Alrighty, so this is from Chicago One Ray. This is a Carrie Lake thing, and she has actually finally pulled ahead in the Senate race against Gallego, which is amazing. I didn't think she would actually be able to pull ahead, and she did. So that's great news.
Tonight we tag along.
This is from 12 Plus Arizona News. Turn this down a little bit.
Along with the Republican candidate, Carrie Lake, as she works to reach voters in the final stretch of her campaign. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono reports from Pima County.
Days before the election. Thank you for being here. Carrie Lake, the Republican candidate vying for a U.S. Senate seat, campaigns in a Democratic stronghold.
We are standing in a historically blue county in Pima County. What was the decision behind, determining to spend one of the final days of your campaign here in Pima County?
I think we've spent more time in Pima County than almost any other county other than Maricopa County. We value Tucson. We value Pima County. We know that Pima County is suffering right now under terrible leadership.
This trip to Pima County marks the last stops of her vote.
She's actually a really awesome person. I've met her a few times. I met her at the vigil for October 7th. It was a while ago. It was I think it was right before Christmas. And then it was for the hostages and for the victims. And then I met her, I think it was I met her 3 times. Yeah. So I met her at a event, like a political event about a month before the midterm elections for 2022. And then I met her again at TPUSA Turning Points America Fest in Arizona in December or end of November or whatever it was last year. So yeah, I've met her multiple times. She's really kind, very awesome. She's down to earth as hell, which is what I like about her. And I think she got screwed over from the governor's election, and hopefully this one, works out for her. She did that. There was that crazy video where she went undercover, recording undercover of a Republican guy trying to get her, like a uniparty Republican rhino, trying to pay her off, like bribe her. And they were like, he's like, oh, we can offer you money and make you just let go of what, this court case, let go of, this election. And we'll have you next year, the year after, we'll have you in a position that's better than this if you want. And she's just like, I don't care about that. I care about, the truth. I care about, making sure the American or the Arizona people of Arizona get the truth and are treated with respect. And he's just like, yeah. I want that too. But if you let this go, it'll be better for you. And she's just like, I don't care about better for me. And he's like, yeah, but I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have a position that you can do even more from? And she's like, I don't care about that. Like, I don't know how to make this clearer. And he just kept trying to push that. And eventually she's like, what? I mean, you're basically just bribing me. And he's like, well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm offering you incentives to do something that's better for yourself. And she's just like, well, that's what that is. And he's, I could ask for $10 million and you'd probably give it to me, wouldn't you? And he's like, well, I mean, yeah, I think that's a reasonable ask. Is that what you want? And she's just like, wow. And she just keeps talking to this dude, not letting him know that she's not interested and this is illegal. And he continues to say, okay, well, what about more than that? And it's insane. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but if you haven't, go check that video out.
And it's a county where she won 39.4% of the vote in her gubernatorial bid back in 2022. Still, she views it as an opportunity.
We're not giving up on any part of our country. I'm going to go to the U.S. Senate and fight for Arizona, but we're not giving up on blue cities and blue states.
12 News following Lake as she makes a final pitch to voters in southern Arizona.
So important because we tend to get ignored from the big county up north.
Lake speaking with voters for about 30 minutes.
I figured you were a bulldog. You had to get a picture with a bulldog.
We've got a lifelong Democrat voting Republican. We get this every day, several times a day.
Then her campaign bus was on the move.
We've just followed Carrie Lake's campaign bus about 30 minutes to Tucson, where she's greeted by more supporters, many who just voted.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Oh, heck yeah.
More supporters, and a few supporting her opponent, waiting for her again.
I just realized we need people who are grounded in who they are and aren't going to be moved by other people's opinions. And Carrie Lake is one of those people.
More than a year after announcing her candidacy, Lake is trying to reach as many voters as she can. Finally,
Did you guys see that? I just wanted to go back and show that. That's how unhappy, like, look at these people. Her, I don't know about her, but like, just look how, like, hat pulled down to here, you know, frown on her face. And this girl, that's not a smile of like, you know, I'm happy. That's a, you know, like, I hate you kind of like a, you know, an annoyed smile, like a smirk, you know, really. And that woman's probably asking her, why are you holding the sign there? Like, why don't you just move? Like, you know, there's plenty of space. And she's just laughing, I'm guessing, laughing and smirking in an, you know, annoyed kind of, I don't know, just nasty way. It looks like one of those nasty smirks.
for her again.
I want to make education world class so that you get to choose where you send your kiddos to school.
Hell yeah.
We
School
want to make
choice.
sure that we're ending endless wars and bringing up peace and prosperity, not war and poverty. And I ask everybody to get out and vote. Vote for yourself, vote for your family, vote for our economy, vote for our country. And I thank you guys for being here today.
So no change.
Appreciate it.
I don't know what I could change. We've worked hard. We've left it all on the playing field.
In Pima County,
She just asked me what I would change about my campaign. Zero. She answered it for me.
There we go. I agree. She did a great campaign. She deserves, you know, she deserves the respect that she hasn't gotten as much from the media. And it seems like they were very, very pleasant to her, and I respect that. And she actually, Carrie mentioned that on her original post, said she did an incredible job and her future in news is bright. Well done, Bianca. And I agree. Okay, so this is I wanted to go over this real quick. This is just so you know, if you guys haven't voted and you're still undecided, I don't know if you are watching my stuff, you probably aren't, but if you are, I want you guys to see this. So energy was down 0.7%. Harris, it's a 34.3% increase on energy. Gas was down 6.8%. That's like really crazy. And now it's up by 38.2%. Fuel, oil, electricity was up, or was up a little bit by 4.5%. And then now it's up by 31.3%. So even more. Fuel oil is down by 5.1%. Now it's up 37.4%. So that's really up over almost 45% total, like since Trump, up that much, because he's actually under the, because you got zero and then you got negative or below that and then above that. So he's actually below the zero, which is, I guess you would say, the, average. And then you have transportation. Like Trump had it around 2.1%. Now it's 31.1%. Public trans was below, so negative 14.6. Now it's up 17%. Car insurance was new cars were about 0.2%. And then up 17.9. Car insurance 6.7. You can go on and look at this. You guys, it should be more than big enough for you guys to see. And I mean, this is insane. I mean, this is it's literally insane. Look, hotels were negative 15.1% when Trump was office. So they were significantly cheaper. And right now, like far more than double cheaper. Like that's it. That's how much of a difference it is. And then 42.4%. And then groceries were about 5.9%. Now they're 22.1% on average for groceries. And it tells you some of the individual grocery items that people often buy. And that's just insane. Like my pet food, by the way, has gone out of control. It was 2.1% when Trump was in office, and now it's 23%. And that may not seem like a lot, but for pet food, it's insane. Like the bag I used to get was about like that big. So that's about roughly just under 2 feet tall. The bag itself had, was probably about 3/4 of the way filled, or maybe a little less. Probably about 2/3, maybe a little more than that, actually. And that bag used to cost me, I think, in between like $28 and like $30. And right now, that same bag is around like, I think, let me see, like 46, 48, something like that. It's out of control. Like I can't even afford to buy the food. I need to get the big bag now that I have a bigger dog. I can't even afford it. Like I can't afford to buy the bigger bag because that big bag costs like $80 freaking. It's insane. And I don't want to have to do this anymore. I can't afford to live under this administration paying this kind of prices. It's just, we need to go back to the Trump prices. We need a president who understands business, who understands economics, who understands the way where business and the economy policies that we put in for the economy have to be, they have to be something where a business isn't going to get screwed and end up screwing the consumer. They think, oh, well, we need to tax all these businesses. We need to tax all these big companies and big billionaires. But the thing is when you're taxing a producer of a product, all those taxes for the business just get relayed to the consumer. So they say, yeah, okay, well, we have to pay more in taxes, so we're going to increase the price. And then the government blames the company for pricing up their items. But the problem is you taxed them more. You didn't need to tax them more, but you did. And that's going to be then relayed down to the customer, and we get more. We have to pay more for our goods and services, which is ridiculous. And Trump understood that. He runs a business. He's run multiple businesses, and he's worked with people who do more things like produce products to sell on the marketplace instead of more real estate stuff like he does. And he knows that if you're producing a product and then the business that's making that product gets taxed, it's only going to make it worse for the customer, because then that price of that item will then be increased to deal with said taxes. So this is from Maricopa County right here. This is posted by George Behizzy tweets. I don't know. Just look up George. It's a black guy with a greenish and orangish background. Yeah. So the Maricopa County officials just announced bad news for the Kamala Harris and the Democrats. 27,000 mail-in ballots have arrived with mismatched signatures, and 15,000 have been cured, meaning that 12,000 ballots will not be counted unless they are cured, meaning authorized, basically. Mail-in voter is Democrats' bread and butter method of voting, and they're actually not doing well on it right now, which is crazy.
Of those approximately 1.4 million ballot packets, we have sent approximately 27,000 to curing so far. Now, what curing is that's the process by which we attempt to contact the voter if we cannot match the signature. We have cured about 15,000 so far out of that 27,000. We have until 5 calendar days after Election Day in order to cure as many of those as we can. Of those approximately 1.
So you can see there's a big issue going on right now. And that's not just that there's this video, or this guy he did a whole conference about how, I don't know if I covered that one. We don't think I brought that one in, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. So I'll mention that. So he talked about how during some of the ballots that were coming in, that they were having issues with thousands of ballots not having proper signatures and registering voters under, false names and false addresses. Like, literally, I'm not kidding. He said people tried to register Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and what was the last one? Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and I don't know, some other Disney character, cartoon character. And it's ridiculous people are even trying to register cartoon characters as voters. Like, that's insane. I always thought that was kind of a joke that didn't really happen. And he said those were legitimate names that were put down to try to register to vote. And it's absurd. Like, I don't even think, the dumbest people alive would do that, but I guess they do. And all right, let's move on to this. This is why I tell people you need to get out and vote, and you need to make sure that you stand up for your people. If they're outside and, one group has a stand and the other one isn't allowed to have a stand, or you see them getting messed with by the polling place or whatever, you tell them no. If they're allowed to, we're allowed to, and make sure that nobody's covering up other people's signs like this ridiculous ass stuff. You can see she's putting Democrat signs in front of Republican signs.
Is there a problem here?
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Well, you're putting a sign right in front there.
I'm moving my signs because they were
Okay, well, you just can't block the signs there. Yeah, you can't put signs in front like that. Like you did over here. See?
Pathetic, dude. Not just there, but over there too.
Right. I mean, you might think you can do that, but you can't do that. Okay.
And then she makes an excuse. I'm actually a Democrat official. So, and he's like, I don't give a shit.
And I'm in public, so I have the right to record you, obviously.
Oh, it's okay.
I know it's okay.
I mean, I'm an elected official.
Oh, well, I don't care.
No,
but thank you.
My name's Mary Ann Minek. I am the elected committee woman for the Democratic Party in Moon District 6.
Good for you.
Cool. And I'm guessing you're going to get fired for this. Jesus, you have a creepy smile.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good for you.
Ugh. People like that just. Also, if you guys are in Arizona, if you guys are local followers, I actually greatly appreciate that. Let me know. And actually, if you guys are local, I will give you guys a discount on the Arizona. If you are a local follower, make sure you do subscribe. And if you subscribe and then comment and say I'm a local Arizona follower or subscriber, then I will send you a discount for the Arizona Don't Tread on Me shirt, or either in long sleeve or in short sleeve. Let me know what you would like, and I'll set up a discount for that, or set up a discount for that. But yeah, so make sure if you guys are having trouble getting to your voting centers, or whatever your polling center is, your election, where you need to go to vote for this election, make sure that you guys go and look on TPUSA. I'm not sure if it's on their website, or let me see. So yeah, just in, Turning Point USO is providing free transportation to all Maricopa County polling centers who wish to go to a location with a shorter line. If you haven't voted, get out and vote. Yeah, exactly. So I would go look into that. Make sure that if you guys do not have a ride, you go to a center and it's too packed, look into this. Go to the TPUSA, Turning Point USA website, and contact them to get a ride through their busing service, and they will get you to a center that you can vote quicker. As you can see, people are traveling to Marietta area.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm in Maricopa County. Maricopa County is a really big county. Why is that over there? That's weird. But yeah, Maricopa County is a really big county. So if you guys do need a ride, look into that from TPUSA. Make sure you go to the Turning Point Action website and do what you can to get your ride. If you guys are having trouble, I'm not kidding when I'm saying this. If you guys have trouble finding a ride and TPUSA doesn't, and you just can't get it from TPUSA, contact me. You guys have my Discord. You have my email. It's always in the description. It's in there's multiple ways you can contact me, comments, whatever. Contact me immediately after you guys see this video if there's still time for you guys to vote, and let me know if you guys are in Maricopa County, and I will give you a ride if you are not too far away and we have time, and I have time to get to you and to the election center to vote still. So please just let me know. I do not want anybody to not be able to vote. It's very important that we get out and do that, so let me know. This is from the Marjorie Taylor Greene press release parody account. A poll watcher literally started harassing and assaulting a young girl because she didn't want to take off a hat. And I don't know if it said "Make America Great Again." I don't know if it said something else. I don't know if it said F Joe Biden. I don't know what it said, but whatever it said, he was saying it's a party alignment hat. And she said, no, it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with the Republican Party or the Democratic Party or a candidate. So I assume it's probably not a MAGA hat. It's probably something else that just seems like it's a Republican, style hat, and he is not having it.
This lady just said she was a poll worker. You saw him just touch me. Let me cast my ballot, sir. You cannot touch me. Do not touch me like that again.
Take your hat off.
Do not touch me like that again. Do not touch me like that again.
Ma'am.
Do not touch me. Hey, this man is refusing to let me cast my ballot.
Look at his freaking face. He is not happy. And he tried to grab her ballot stuff, so that's illegal. You cannot, once you've handed someone their ballot at the center, you cannot grab it unless you are helping them put it in a box, or you are printing it out and then handing it to them. Those are the only two times you're allowed to touch their stuff at all.
This lady is refusing to take off her party designation.
That's not a party designation, sir. And actually, I'm an elected libertarian. So fuck off.
She's also being obscene.
You're being obscene. She's not. You started it.
Keep going, sir.
I will. Hey, you can't put that in.
This lady just said
yeah, so he did assault her. If you hear right here.
Sir.
I will. Hey, you can't put that in.
This lady.
He rips out the ballot from the machine, so she can't put her ballot in the machine. That is so illegal. And that is considered not only voter suppression, it's considered voter intimidation. And I mean, I don't know how this is going to be handled, but this is what you guys need to be looking out for. Even if you want to, if you're in a Republican district, if you have to vote in a heavily, if you're in a Democratic district and you have to vote in that heavily Democratic area, make sure, if you guys want to, it's a good idea to go down to the polls and put up a table, put up a chair, whatever, and make sure that the Republican voters are getting the voter information if they need one, getting a vote sheet if they need one. Make sure that they're not being intimidated or they're not being harassed. Make sure that their freedom of speech is being respected. So those are the things that you guys should do if you are in a Democratic area and you guys are worried about voter intimidation, voter suppression, things like that. Alrighty, so we're going to look at Poly Market and 270 win right before we go. So here we go, guys. So the 270 win presidential is election winner bets right now are 61% for Trump and 39% for Harris. And why is Gavin Newsom even on the presidential thing? That's so weird. That is so weird. Popular vote winner, it says Kamala, but that's, I don't trust that at all, obviously. A lot more people voting for or betting for the winner than the popular vote thing. Very few. Sorry. Electoral college margin of victory, GOP. And then let me see, balance of power. Where is it? All right. Well, that's really all for this one, I guess. And then so we have we're going to do two things on this one. This is the pundits thing. It said this is the pundits section, election forecast predictions. As you can see, most of them are, so this is Inside Elections presidential ratings, 226 to 219. Cook Political Report, 226 to 219. And then you have these ones, Crystal Ball. This was made on November 4th. So 276 to 262. And then 538 forecast. 538 is that like website. 226 to 262. And then you have Kalishi or Kalshi presidential election markets, 241 to 262 Republican. Then 2024 map based on polls, no toss-ups, 251 to 268 Republican, so Trump. Then 2024 electoral map based on polls, 226 to 219. And then, let's see. Yeah, 2024 consensus according to the electoral map. And this is a composite by several forecasters. 226 for the Democrats and 230 for the Republicans. So yeah, it looks like on most of these things it's leaning Republican, but there are a couple that are not. And then we're going to go, let's see. It's the original interactive map. And right now it says 226 to 230. So yeah, that's the last one we showed you on there. That seems to be the most accurate according to what's currently, going on. So it seems like Arizona's leaning Republican, Texas is leaning more Republican, and then PA, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Nevada, North Carolina, and Georgia are really the toss-up states right now. Arizona doesn't seem like it's going to be a toss-up. And then, yeah, so it looks like really what we have to be worrying about is looks like possibly probably, PA is actually leaning, it seems to be leaning more Republican. Also, New Hampshire was red earlier. I do not know if it still is, but it was leaning red, which is crazy. And also New Jersey, a lot of counties in New Jersey, they were leaning red too, especially the Jewish districts. So right now it seems like Republicans are going to have this for the win, but it's not going to be by a huge margin. So we will check in with it tomorrow. Like I said, Arizona's not going to have their votes in for a while, but likely they're going to be leaning red, so we can probably call it before Arizona is called. But I will do some check-ins tomorrow to see how it is doing. Alrighty, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Can you make sure you go down there, hit that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. It really helps you guys when you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys do it for me, please. And leave a comment if you guys want. And don't forget to go down there and share this video if you guys like it. All right, go check out my Discord server. Also, do not forget to go check out my merch store. We got some great shirts, a lot of election stuff. We'll open it up right here and I'll show you guys. So we have Sorry, it takes a minute, guys. All right, here we go. Yeah, it does this weird little intro thing. Yeah, here you go. So we have our, Kamala Harris, American Horror Story, our election stuff, voting for the felon, time for a revolution. We got Friends Not Food with a little kitty. We got all kinds of great stuff, guys. This is our shirt I mentioned earlier, the Arizona one. If you are a local Arizona fan, subscribe. Let me know, guys. Yeah, we got lots of great stuff. Go check it out and let me know. Alrighty, so we will catch you on the next one. Alrighty, guys, have a good one. Go vote.